Hey, Amanda, how are you doing?
Great, Charlene. How are you?
I'm good. Excited once again to talk to you. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself and then we'll introduce you.
That sounds good.
Okay, so I'm Charlene Williams. I'm a real estate broker currently with Real Estate HOMEWARD, and I've been a broker for 15 years. And we have some exciting news in pre-construction, but I'll let Amanda speak and introduce herself first.
So my name's Amanda Pivar. I'm a mortgage agent with Mortgage Connection. I have been an agent for over 8 years, but in the industry for well over 11. And I'm excited to talk to you, Charlene, because I saw on your Instagram that you went to a really cool press conference recently about pre-construction. I'd love to hear more about it.
So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Pre-construction in Pickering, right at Pickering Town Center. They're developing the land. Eventually, it will be 55 buildings in that area. It's going to be very residential heavy, very concentrated. I was there with City Core and on behalf of First Access Condos. Costas was great enough to let me go in his place. The mayor was there. It was a huge press conference. It was very, very enlightening. And they came from concept in January of this year to the press conference in August.
Wow.
And that's how quickly this thing is developing. So I'm excited to be a part of it. And again, I'm with First Access Condos. So hopefully we can get anybody first access to these pre-construction units. And it's good for investment, good for building wealth. You know, the structure on a pre-construction typically is 20%, but it's over a longer period of time. So you don't quite feel if you've got the money, invest, I don't know, 5% a year for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And that is, yeah, go
It's
ahead.
5 buildings. That's crazy. And now it's
Yeah.
like reconstruction, because what I think a lot of people don't realize is if you own another property but looking at buying an investment, you can always add a line of credit or add it onto your mortgage to actually access your equity to put for your down payment. And that portion used for investment purposes is a write-off. And then once that property closes, what a lot of my clients are doing right now is just a 6 month open when they close the property to be able to actually refinance in 6 months to pull out the equity earned, because of course the value is going to go up from the time you buy it to the time it's completed. So a lot of opportunity for pre-construction to, one, double down in a few years, and two, make a lot of money on an up and coming and great area.
Wow. I always get these little pointers from you that I really did not know that. I mean, I have a line of credit. I could use that to invest in one of these units.
Yeah, and you're only paying interest on the money as you need it. So really, if interest on 5% is not that much monthly payment wise, then and it's a write-off because it's used for investment purposes.
A write-off. I love
Mhm.
it. Okay, that is really good information. So glad I brought this up and or you had asked me the question. Um, Anything going on in the let's switch gears. Anything going on in the interest rate department that we should know about?
Yeah, so we had inflation numbers come out this week, and the media makes it sound horrible. They're like, inflation's up, and that put people in panic mode. What they're not talking about is how the CPI is actually a very good indicator that inflation is coming down and we are on the right track. Bank of Canada is going to look at that a lot more closely than they're actually going to look at the inflation number. So this is a good indicator that we might not actually see a rate increase this September like we originally thought. Again, we don't have a crystal ball. Bank of Canada surprises many times, but in the past, something like this would indicate not having any movement, but we will find out on the 6th. Another great thing too is we really, I think, are starting to peak. We are starting to hit the top of our high rates. A lot of indications are showing this. So anyone who's buying pre-construction, who maybe doesn't want to close with the higher rates right now, realistically, in 3 years from now, rates should be back at a normal level. They won't be in the ones, but they'll be normal and more stable, that you bought a property for a lot less, your rates are going down, and there's some more cash flow for you.
Right, right. This is really good news. I'm just so tired of paying more for my mortgage. And then I heard our mayor is trying to raise taxes, and it's just overwhelming sometimes.
I would agree. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people over the next 2 years are really going to have a shock, because for anyone who's been in a fix, they've been saying, oh, I'm so lucky, I'm not dealing with this. But unfortunately, they are going to be dealing with it basically overnight. Their payment's going to double. Fortunately, a lot of these people have paid their mortgage down for the last 5 years. So we have options of re-amortizing to make sure that no one's losing their home. The one, silver lining for the variable, depending on how you look at it, is the payment increase happened gradually. So people were able to adjust to it. Whereas when you're going overnight and basically doubling your payment for the fix, that's when the shock happens and the panic happens.
Right, right. I know that I've been on a variable for my home and my mortgage. So yes, it did go up gradually. I mean,
I
is it
know.
going to go down gradually? Is that what we're thinking, or is it going to go like down, down?
No, it's really hard to say. There's so
Yeah.
many indicators that are going to predict on how our rates come down. I think the job market over the next year will also really indicate it. We know that some companies like tech has done a huge layoff. There's rumors that other industries are also going to be doing larger layoffs. So if we do have a high unemployment rate, we will see rates come down pretty quickly, since Bank of Canada is going to want to help people versus people defaulting on their homes.
Right. And I have noticed that there are more distressed sales than normal out there lately, especially the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I've come across quite a few.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I've seen them with some of my clients. A lot of my clients, though, they panic and then they call me and we actually strategize, because it
Mhm.
could be even as simple as going to a private or a B lender for a year at a 40-year amortization to really lower that monthly payment to keep your property. Because the last thing you want to do is do a stress sale. You're losing money. It's not great. Maybe taking on that B or private and paying the fees is worth it for a year in order to be able to keep that property at an affordable rate.
Right. Those are really good ideas. I mean, yeah, we take care of our clients. You have the knowledge, I have the knowledge, we've got the backing, and we do these videos because some people, well, maybe they don't want to talk to us, but at least they can get some
Yeah,
help.
I find a lot of people are looking for advice right now. I mean, if you go, unfortunately, into the bank and you get a mortgage from them, chances are trying to go back to them for advice right now is very difficult to do, because the bank is very transactional. Whereas working with a mortgage broker, we're here for everything. So if anybody's watching this and they got a mortgage from the bank and they just need advice, I'm happy to go through it with them.
That's great. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you. Knowledge, of course, for your knowledge, for, being so open and free with your information. That is huge. And I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I love doing these and I'm always here for advice.